You want to wait? Can you do? All right.
Hey, Facebook Live, YouTube, Periscope, whichever platform you're joining us from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's your girl, Dr. V, for another amazing Facebook Live. And I've got company, y'all. Hold on. I want to wait till some people get on here so I can really introduce her the way she deserves to be introduced. Because listen, she is a celebrity. So I'm going to let y'all come on, join us. I'm going to share the broadcast. You guys share as well. We're going to let the world know some stuff. Y'all, and it might come across a little harsh. I just want to warn you. So put your thick skin on and your big girl panties and your big boy boxers, okay? Because we're going to give it to you real raw and without a chaser. All right. Sharita said that I'm on one today, y'all. I don't know. Y'all are gonna have to tell me because I don't know.
Listen, she's raw and uncut today, honey. Give it.
Listen, I'm trying to help somebody. I just want to help somebody. I just want to help.
Yeah, another song came to my head, but it wasn't.
What song came to your head?
Actually, had nothing to do with helping people. It was more so.
What song was it, Sharita?
I just want to be successful. That's what came to my head.
Come on, girl.
It goes in alignment with the video, though, because I mean, yes. In order to be successful, you just got it. Well, okay. Mm-hmm.
Come on, that's true. You guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. Who's on and where you're tuning in from? Let us know so we can see you. Yes. Y'all come on in. I see y'all in. Come on, y'all put some comments in here. Let us know where you're chiming in from. So that we can shout you out.
Sharita. Yes, ma'am.
Girl, you sounding good in these AirPods, girl.
Look, I don't know how to act with them AirPods. I don't know how to act.
So you guys listen, let me tell y'all what happened. So I had a set of AirPods, right? And first I lost one AirPod, okay? I lost one AirPod, but I still had my case and my other AirPod. So I was walking around with one AirPod. I was trying to do it. Then my daughter used my one AirPod, gave it back to me, just like laid it down. I don't know where it is. And I am like, okay, I can't find my AirPod. So I had the case and no AirPods. And my amazing son, that's right, Adam J. Walters, went to get him a set of AirPods. And I said, I need to get me some. He said, Mom, you want me to get you some? Yes, son. Of course I do. So he came back with him a set and me a set of AirPods. Isn't that sweet, Sharita?
Aww, how beautiful.
And if he had said no, you know what I would have said?
What were you going to say, Dr. V?
For the 9 months I carried you, growing inside of me. You need to give me some AirPods.
Yo, Dad.
For the nights I got up with you.
We have people watching from San Diego. We have Waukegan, Illinois in the house. I'm doing a watch party too. So
okay. So on your page they talking.
Yeah, they talking on my page. Yes.
Y'all, I got a whole problem with that now. Where y'all at and why y'all are not talking to me? Y'all making me look bad on my own page. I have a problem with that now. Listen, somebody say something, okay? Okay, you guys. So listen, this is what we're talking about tonight. And maybe it's my topic. Y'all scared to say something about it. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Like, oh, I don't, Dr. V's on one. I don't want to get hit by a stray bullet. But listen, you know, Sharita and I were having a conversation and we were talking about being comfortable and how often it is that people will get comfortable. And then in their being comfortable, they don't really do what they need to do. And so they find themselves stuck and going through some things. And we are coming on to say, listen, y'all, thank you, cuz listen, my cousin said, hello, ladies. You know what, cousin? Because you were the first person to comment, I want you to inbox me your address. I'm going to send you a free sample of that Kai Detox tea. Bam. All the way to Russellville, Kentucky. Listen, you're going to be the first one in the family to get some Kai Detox tea. Girl, you're going to have to tell them, Dr. V, Veronica, Ron sent me some detox tea, girl. That's what they call me at home, girl. They be like, Veronica, Ron.
Mm.
Okay. So listen, we were talking about being comfortable. And I know at first I said being comfortable would cost you. I think I got a little more explicit when I put the title in. And I said, being comfortable will keep you broke, stagnant, and complacent. Sharita,
That part.
talk to us about that.
Listen, this is a misconception of being comfortable, is that you're okay where you are. And what happens is when you start lying to yourself about being in a certain place for so long, you think it's okay. And the truth is, you should be elevating. And the crazy part is, Dr. V, that there are people right now in their lives that know, they logically know that they should be doing more, they should have more, there's more available to them, but
Right.
because they've been comfortable in what they know, familiarity will rob you of success. It will rob you
Wow.
of your greatest potential. It will rob you of your
Right.
possibilities by being comfortable. And so you have to ask yourself, if what I'm doing is just enough for me, if what I'm doing does not allow me to become my greatest self, to serve the people of who I've been called to serve, am I really
Right.
okay? Because being okay, even people that are successful, at
Right.
certain levels, they're going to switch it up. Maybe they need to get a new house.
Come
Maybe
on.
now instead of one business, it's two businesses. Why? Because
Right.
they know they cannot afford to stay comfortable. Let me
Yeah.
tell you a quick story. I remember when I was living with my mother, right? I was back in Atlanta. And mind you, I had been on my own since 21 years old. I have my own
Right.
place, whatever. So now I have this turn of events where I'm living with my mom again. I had been
Okay.
homeless before. I had been ran over by an 18-wheeler truck while I was pregnant. Totally different story for another day.
Wow.
We're not going there today, right? So I remember we moved into this apartment, and it was a 2-bedroom apartment. And so she had her one room, and then my sister was living with us at the time as well. So being that I'm the eldest, she was like, well, do you want the room or give it to your sister? And I said, no, my sister could have the room. And the reason why I gave my sister the room and I slept on the couch was because I needed to feel uncomfortable.
That's
I could
good.
not feel comfortable in that 1-bedroom apartment, thinking that I was doing okay. I'm a little room to split the rent. And no, I need to feel uncomfortable. I need to sleep
Right.
on that couch. Know that it is not okay. You have no privacy here. Not only is it
Right.
you have a child. Y'all live in the living room. It was uncomfortable for me to that way inspire me
Wow.
to do something different and not be okay with my current situation. And that's
Right.
where a lot of you are today. You're comfortable. So you're going to keep doing things that keep you comfortable, as opposed
Right.
to things that will charge you to become better, charge you to get uncomfortable for a little bit, to strive to some greater things. Because I would have never been able to be a 2-time best-selling author and any of that had I been comfortable in that bed. Because
Come
literally
on.
in that space, I wrote my book. I decided to do something
Wow.
different with my life. I took the little money that I had back from my tax return and said, I'm going to go and create a book, not just any book. I'm going to make sure it's a bestseller. And that's exactly what I did, not being
Wow.
comfortable.
Well, I love that, because one of the things that I know is that when you're comfortable, because everybody else is there, everybody else is in the same place you're in, then you feel like, oh, I'm good. Or you might be in a little better place than them. And you're like, oh, I'm good because I'm
Right.
not where they are. But the
Yep.
reality is, to whom much is given, much is
Much
required.
required.
Now, listen, I'm going to tell you, growing up in my hometown, like I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. So for me, when we got a bathroom, I was like, oh, this is the highlight. I was living it up, living it up, living it up. Oh, yeah. Come on now, because I had a bathroom. But the reality was, what happened for me, and I think one of the things that really allowed me to get out.
Second place.
Get out.
The
Right.
flash.
But I think what really allowed me to get out was I was exposed like consistently to different. I was constantly taking trips with the band, going to different places. I was in the governor's, whatever that thing is where you go. I don't know. It was something I went. It was only a few of us that went. I went competing in speech and debate, being on college campuses, staying with my aunt and uncle in the summer. My aunt and uncle, they were entrepreneurs. My uncle had a little, my aunt worked at an insurance company and my uncle worked somewhere too, but they had a candy store. Like they were the candy people, right? And so doing that allowed me to see something different. I was learning entrepreneurship every summer when I went over there, and I worked in the candy store. And do you know what I discovered? I discovered that I liked being in a position where I literally was powerful because I controlled the candy. And everybody in the neighborhood wanted the candy. So all of the guys would come and they would be like, hey, and I'd be like, hey, and they would be like trying to holler at me and stuff, but they knew I was the girl with the candy, honey. They were trying to holler at the girl with the candy. And so when I would go home and I was away from entrepreneurship, it's like, wait, this is what people do? Because I literally could make money every day selling that candy. My uncle said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you this much candy, and whatever money you make from that, that's yours. Baby, you talking about selling some candy. I was selling the candy and grinning. Hey, you want some candy, little boy? And I really think that began my career in sales. I loved selling. I loved interacting with the people. I loved making new friends. And I loved selling. But what I really loved was making that money.
That's what it was.
That part right there. That part. Yeah. So, Sharita, let me ask you this. When we say being comfortable will keep you broke, how is it that being comfortable keeps you broke?
Oh, my gosh. Because one, it's a mindset. So the fact that you feel like it's okay, that's where you become broke. Because if you don't find anything that's going to elevate your thinking, something that's going to inspire you to do more, to grow, you're broken, right? You're in a place where you're just content with where you are. And so being broke, if you're broke mentally, surely your bank account and your wallet is going to say the same thing.
Reflect.
Because exactly, it's going to reflect the same exact thing because it's the mindset. And so by being comfortable, you may not try to do the extra work for the raise at your job. You may not want to go and start a new business because you're comfortable where you are. And you may not want to go and maybe stretch yourself and get the extra training, or maybe, sleep later or wake up earlier because you have that mindset of being broke. And with that, you can't get more money. Listen, let me tell you something about money.
Tell us about money.
Let me tell you something about it, daughter. So with the money, money is energy, right?
Yes.
And just like you were to have a magnet together, it can be attracted to you, right? Money is not attracted to being broke. It's not attracted to a broke mindset. It's not attracted to laziness. It's not attracted to the wrong words. And so if you're in a place where you're just comfortable, you go to your job, you come home, you see the kids, dinner, you go to sleep. That's it. Where's new money going to come from? Where are the new opportunities that you're going to see? You're not going to, because you're comfortable there. You're not aspiring to do anything new, right? And one of the reasons why successful people continue to be successful is because they understand they have to consistently be growing. They have to consistently be challenging themselves. They have to consistently get comfortable. And that's the thing. If you think that just being comfortable is a dollar amount, you're missing. Because once you get there, okay, so now what? It's a part of who you are. It's when you say, I mastered this. Okay, what do I master from here? And even going biblically, right? You go from glory to glory and faith to faith. We never stay the same, right? We should be elevating and growing. And so that's how you stay broke. You stay broke by being comfortable because you're not trying to do anything extra. You're just okay right here.
I'm so glad you said that, because let me tell you what happened. During the pandemic, people were like, oh my God, I can't make any money. Girl, I looked at my pandemic money and I said, and check this out. It didn't come from the places where it normally came from, which was like
Mm-hmm.
my teaching. It wasn't that, right? Normally I teach and I make a nice chunk in 4 weeks, right? It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that I made some money, but not as much, right? Because we went online, I had fewer students, like all of those things
Mm-hmm.
affected the amount of money that I made. But in terms of my businesses, I made money. Why? I knew if I was going to make money, I had to make moves.
Come
You
on.
can't make money
That's
not making
good.
moves.
I make
Okay?
money.
Listen, I'm telling you, I knew if I was going to make money, I had to make moves.
That's
So I
good.
made moves. I created plans. I said, okay, I'm going to do these courses, right? Because right now people have time. They had plenty of time. They were self-quarantined or, they were safer at home. So they were at home. They had time. I said, let me do some classes, right? And
Yep.
then I said, well, listen, I'm not going to try to bust their heads. I'm going to do it in a way that they can afford it. Now, I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't charging no money either, but
Hello.
I made it affordable. But let me tell you what that did. I used a very simple principle that has worked very well in the Black community. In the Black community, we know this thing called layaway. See, when we couldn't afford something, we would put it on layaway, right? And so I didn't do layaway, but I did payment plans. Like, we'll buy some stuff if we can get a payment plan. Can I get a payment plan?
Yeah.
Because I want it. I just can't pay it all at once, all at the same time. But I want it enough so that I can do payments over time to pay off what it is. But what it did for me was it meant that I knew I had money coming in every week or every 2 weeks and in the month. Like, I just knew I consistently a certain amount of money, and it had commas in it. Like, it was a comma, right?
Come on,
so
comma.
that wasn't a little bit of money. So my income increased during a time when other people's income decreased.
Yep.
How is that?
Yep.
It's because I knew that if I was going to do anything, I'm like, come on now.
Hello.
Let's do this. Let's do this. So I want you to know that, listen, when we are moving, when you understand that if you want to make money, you have to make moves, that's real. That is absolutely real. And you got to do something. Now let's move to the next thing real quick, because that money is energy. We can draw it to us or we can repel it. How do we repel money from us, Sharita? How do we send the money away and say, money, don't come over here. I don't want you. How do we do it?
By the words that we speak.
Come on.
If you're always talking about how broke you are, I don't have enough, money don't grow on trees, and girl, that's too expensive, and I don't need all of that, and why are you doing this, and that's just too much, and don't take all of that, and I'm tired, and all of that energy, like, I felt the energy just saying that.
Right.
And that's what money says.
Yeah.
So when you do all that talking, money's like, oh, ew, I don't want to be around that. What is that?
Yeah,
that's exactly what money does, right? So you have to be mindful of the words that you're speaking and your actions. If you're just fleeing around and just not even moving and you're just so lackadaisical, you're repelling it from coming to you, right? And so energy, just like when we come on and I'm speaking to you, if I'm on the phone or whatever, I have to make sure that I'm flowing a certain energy. And what most people don't know is that when you have someone who is a speaker, whether you're doing it in a live audience or if you're doing it on video, it takes personality, it takes energy, it's a different type of work and exhaustion that can come from that, right? Because if she and I were doing this video and we were just like, yeah, and so no money in this, and I don't even know, but what Dr. V, ain't nobody trying to hear that. Listen, nobody's trying to hear that. Nobody would be joining our movement. We would make no money because it takes a certain type of energy. And so it is with money and opportunities.
Absolutely.
How are you creating an atmosphere energetically to where things and or people that align with your greater good can say, hey, I want that. Because if you're not doing that, if you're inconsistent, see, that's another thing that will steal stuff from you. Being consistent. 1 minute you're here, 1 minute you're not, 1 minute you're feeling it, 1 minute you're not. And guess what happens? Your money acts the same way. 1 minute it shows up, 1 minute it's gone. You try to figure out what? Why did I get paid when money's gone? Because you're inconsistent.
Right.
One day you feel like it, one day you don't. One day you're calling people, one day you're not. One day you're talking about the business, one day you're not. And so because of that very reason, Money said, well, okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, so when you call me, I'll show. When you're happy again, when you're energetic again, I'll show
Call
up.
me. Yeah,
That
yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
And so we have to look at ourselves, and this is where self-evaluation must come
Absolutely.
into play. We get to look at yourself, but then in addition to self-evaluation, accountability is real. I need
Okay.
to be able to know that I have someone that's going to help pull me back in. Like, girl, you off
Uh-huh.
right now. Come on,
Hey,
somebody.
hey,
Right?
hey.
And I need to be able to have somebody to sit there and say, okay, let's wake up. What's going on?
Right,
Right?
right.
And that is where we have to have our success system. Like, I like to call it my emotional first aid kit. Right? And
Okay.
so if I feel like my energy is down for whatever reason, maybe something triggered something, or maybe a
Yeah.
bad event took place, and I feel
Hmm.
myself, as you like to say, in the sunken place, I got to get out. Like, I cannot allow myself to have bad days. I remember Eric Thomas, who everybody knows now, ET, right? I knew ET before he was ET. But
E.T.
anyway,
Right.
right. I remember he said something one day, and when we were at he was doing a seminar at our church, and he said something that totally, blew my mind, and I never forgot it. He said, I don't have bad days. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have bad days? It didn't make sense to me, because at that
Right.
time, everybody says, well, I'm having a bad day. Don't talk to me. I'm having a bad day. He said, I have bad moments. And he said,
That's
I
good.
never allow for myself to have a bad day. And I was like, yo, that's good. And at that age, from then on till now, I was a teenager. And to this day,
Wow.
I won't let myself have a bad day. I'm having bad
Right.
moments my last couple of hours, but it's not going
Right.
to be a bad day.
It can't be a whole day. So listen, moment of transparency. I was having a bad moment. I don't know what
Mm,
was going on with me, but my spirit was off. My energy was off. It was a little negative, and anybody that knows me knows that I'm not naturally a negative person. But
right.
my energy was off. And do y'all know what I did? Listen, see, this is the other thing I understand. I understand that sometimes there can be chemical things going on in your body where chemicals, the neurons are not firing the way they need to. And so
Mm-hmm.
I know that when that's going on, I need to do something to shift that, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
times when I can just will my energy to where it needs to be, and there are times when I need help. Y'all know what I did? I pulled out my Valet 30. I took a shot and a half, and I said, get your act together. She was like, Dr. V, I don't know what's going on with you, but I'm going to need you to get it together. Get it together. And you need that in your life. I said, girl, I know. I said, you see that? You feel that? She said, yes. Get it together before we go live. You get yourself together. I took my shot and I'm like, okay, all right. Why? Because there's something in the B vitamins that will enhance your neurotransmitters and help them to fire the way they're supposed to fire. Now, some
Mm-hmm.
of you are struggling with depression and you're trying to figure out why. You're trying to figure out what's going on. You can't focus, you can't think, you can't get things done. It's probably because you're short on your B vitamins. You don't have enough B vitamins operating. It's not firing the way it needs to fire, and you need help. This is why I
Mm-hmm.
tell people, listen, if you need help and you've tried natural alternatives and it's still not working, get some medicine.
Yeah, that's real.
Get some medicine so that you can begin to think and get clear. There have been times when I needed medicine, but I thank God, honey, for the Valet 30. Y'all hear me? And Sharita, what else helps with mood?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right here.
Come
This
on.
Vita Plus. This
Right.
Vita Plus is Bay. It's life. It means life in Spanish, but it's literally what it is. Like, I'm telling you, when you need that extra push, like, listen, if I don't have my Vita Plus yet, I may not have a conversation with you yet. People say things like, don't talk to me until I get my
After I
coffee.
have my coffee.
Listen, exactly. That's me with Vita Plus. Listen,
Yes.
don't. I'm not fooling with you yet. And I'm telling you, it's crazy how it makes a difference just by taking it. And you talk about the B12. It has the B12, but not only has the B12, all of your other B vitamins as
Yes.
well. So when you're feeling kind of like, I don't know. Listen, you better get you some Vita Plus. I'm trying to tell you, change your life. Change your
And
life,
this is
honey.
the thing I want y'all to understand. Listen, we didn't come on here to talk about
No,
these products.
at all. But
But
it's
can
our
I be
life,
honest
though.
with you? And that's what I was going to say, Sharita. Really, like for real, this is our real life. how it is that we do what we do, how it is that we're able to get through those tough moments. I just had someone asking me, listen, they were saying, listen, I'm really depressed. I've lost my best friend. I went through a divorce. You know what I immediately said? Not to sell a product, but because it's real. You need some Valet 30 and Vita Plus. Because what it'll do is it'll help your body begin to respond the way that it needs to respond so that you can then get clear enough mentally to respond the way that you need to respond. People don't think that this is a commercial, but I promise you,
it's real.
I promise you, this is life. For real. And Sharita will even tell you, she can tell when I've not had my Vita Plus. In fact, she said, did you have your Vita Plus? Because she knows, I'm menopausal. Listen, I'm subject to click, okay? Did you have your Vita Plus, Dr. V? Because, listen, you a little off. I said, girl, yes, I have my Vita Plus and I have my Valet 30. But this is the thing. There will be times when you are going through things where you need extra help. And that's just real. Extra help. Let me take an extra cap of Valet 30. Let me take another half because I'm real off, right? I'm real off, okay? And then you can get your mind together, because emotionally, when you go through things, it will drain you. So the normal resources that I would have to operate in, because y'all know Dr. V's like, hey, it's your girl, Dr. V. I'm all lit and happy. Listen, I'm tell y'all something. You got to have some energy to be able to do that. Okay.
Yep.
And so that's exactly what I know. Sometimes I just got to make sure I have what I need in my body to be able to respond the way I need to respond. Now, listen. Now, Sharita, we said that being comfortable will keep you broke and that it will keep you stagnant. Talk about that stagnation.
Listen, that's real. Before I do that real quick, I want to make sure that people on your page can hear you, because I know Rosa just sent me a text and said that they couldn't hear on your page, so I'm not sure. I guess they can because somebody's commenting. So
yeah.
Okay, awesome. So listen, stagnation. Why is that real? Again, because you don't feel there's more to do. So being comfortable says, okay, we're good. So we don't have to do any more. We don't have to research anything else. I'm just okay. I'm just okay. And that's the biggest lie that people can believe, that you're okay. And I'll hear people and I'll watch their lives and I'm like, how are you okay in that? How are you okay with that situation? It became their norm. And stagnation also lets us know that there is no real belief. That's all it is. Stagnation is saying that I don't believe I can do more. I don't believe I can have more. I don't believe that there's more to my current life. This is all I've known. And so they stay complacent and stagnant right there. And that's being comfortable. See, sometimes I think when we hear comfortability, we also associate part of that definition with feeling good, right? You have comfort foods, or I'm comfortable in my new shoes, or comfortable in my new, my bed sheets or whatever. But the truth is, comfort can also be synonymous with familiar. And so in the same fashion that you have someone that's in an abusive relationship, they'll stay in that relationship because they're comfortable, because it's familiar to them. They've watched their mother be in an abusive relationship.
Correct.
So now they're going to be in that same abusive relationship. So it's familiar. So being comfortable is sometimes being familiar, although it's hurting you. It's killing you. It's killing your morale, killing your enthusiasm, killing your opportunities. And so you stay there. And so that's where you get stagnation from. There's no movement. And as Dr. B said earlier on, money moves. As someone who's a Forex trader, I can tell you money literally moves. And it moves quickly. That's the other part. It moves and moves quickly. So when I see people, they're like, well, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm going to think about it, or I'm going to get some people, or I'm going to, well, give me till 3 weeks from now. And when I get my other check, and I'm looking at you like, what? You going to wait a whole, how long? What?
We're so much alike.
We really are.
Because I can't fathom that.
I don't understand
that. I can't fathom, for me, it's hard for me to think about not having money in 30 days. It's too much stuff that can happen in 30 days.
Listen, in 30 days to get you some?
I can control my money. Listen, I may not be able to control everything that happens to me, but I can control my money because I got too many gifts to be broke. Too many. And this is the thing about stagnation. Anything stagnant is dying.
That's it.
Anything stagnant is like, I want you to think about water. Water, when it is stagnant, nothing lives in that. There's nothing that can live in stagnant water. It is dying and it dies and it's dead and it's over, kaput, the end. That's it. So when you are stagnant, know that you are in a place of dying and you're about to expire. And so it is imperative that in that moment that you say, hey, listen, I don't want to die. You were talking about E.T. Well, everybody, or just about everybody, is familiar with his famous speech and illustration where he talks about the young man who wants a job, and the man says, meet me at the beach and early in the morning, and he comes in the suit and he says, okay, go get in the water. And he's like, well, I get in the water, I got my good shoes on, I got my nice suit on, and when he goes out there, finally he puts his head under the water and holds it under there. And then when he finally brings him up, the guy's like, why did you do that? When you want success as badly as you want to breathe, then you'll have success, because you won't stop until you get it. That's the thing. We've got to want it so desperately that we're not willing to die in the process. Like we literally are ready to keep it moving. So we talked about being broke and we talked about stagnation. But listen, this is the other thing I said, girl, that money also, hold on, wait a minute. Hey, girl, I got to get it. Money also makes you complacent. Talk about that complacency.
And it goes back to what we were saying before. It's like there are no goals.
Yeah.
There are no dreams. I remember when I was younger, I had a shirt that my mom bought. I don't know if she bought it from one of her trips or something, but it was like a really weird shirt that I remember thinking, like, why did you buy me this? Like, what the heck? And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it then. But on the shirt, it said, when you stop, life is over when you stop dreaming, something to that effect. And I was like, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what complacency is. People just stop dreaming.
Yes.
And they're gone. Like there are so many people that are existing in life, and that's a scary place to be in.
It is.
And not be alive.
Right.
And you have been given life and life more abundantly. That is a promise that has been given to you.
Yes.
And you just exist and you just do what everyone else is saying or doing, and there's no creativity, there's no spontaneity, there's just, this is what it's been, and you're just all right. That is a scary place to be in. And I've had moments in my life where things were so dark and I felt like, oh my gosh. But see, in those moments, I was like, I can't die. It felt like I would rather die than actually just be here doing nothing and feel like my life is gone before me.
Yes.
And that's what complacency is. I need to feel like I'm alive. I need to feel like I'm doing something. I need to feel like I'm changing somebody's life. I need to feel like there is something new. And I've shared this story before. And I said how right before I got involved with Tava, I just felt like something was going to happen. I was waiting for something. And I didn't know what I was waiting for. I didn't know what it was. I needed something. I needed something new. I needed to feel excited again. And boom, this happens, right? But I knew I needed something, because just waking up every day, it was not okay. Knowing that my bills were paid every day was just not enough, right? That's the live complacency.
Wow.
Right? Think about it. Come, break down the word come and place. So you come somewhere and then you're placed there. You're staying right there.
Placed is set.
There you go. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are you doing? What place do you want, or what place do you want to come from and get there? Like that has to be how you have to see things. Like you have to be able to move and flow. Like life is about flowing. Life is about movement. Life is about, uncharted territories being discovered. It's about having more, doing more, experiencing more, right? And don't get comfortable where you are. And another reason why people get, they stay broke and all that other stuff is because they get complacent. And not only that, but they're comfortable there because of what they know, and they feel like, well, this is who I am. And that's having a fixed mindset. Right. You need to be able to have a growth mindset, knowing that I can become whoever I need to become. I can recreate myself on a day-to-day basis. And regardless of what anybody thinks of me, I can become someone else. I don't have to be who I once was. I don't have to be what my family or friends think I should be. I can evolve. And when you have that conviction and that understanding and that awareness and revelation of evolution within yourself,
Yes.
It changes the whole game. It changes your whole entire life.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I believe that it is important, especially when we go and we do this. Now, check this out. We do this. Let me show you when we do this. If you have a bad breakup, you break up with somebody, you've been in a relationship and you break up. Oh, you want to change your look, change your hair. You know, you might dye your hair, you might cut it off, but you're like, listen, this is the new me, because you want to show him or her what they're missing. Oh, you're going to miss this, right? And so we spend time creating ourselves for people that we've left in a relationship.
You can send them off.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sharita. You took yourself out. She took herself out. She's trying to get her food. Listen, you ready? Let me see if she's ready to come back. You ready to come back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Listen, I thought I had somehow accidentally kicked you out. So, you know, you can recreate yourself after a breakup to show someone else something. But can you recreate yourself, and will you recreate yourself in order to show yourself what you're capable of?
Change your hair.
Lord Jesus.
That's what I said. Change your hair, cut it off. You want to show them, right? And that's serious, because people might say, well, Dr. V, why is it that you have changed your look? Or why is it that you've changed this? Or why is it that you've changed that? Listen, when I stop evolving, I'll be dead, because I promise you.
Come on.
Listen, I want y'all to hear me. I am 53, getting ready to be 54. And so when people start saying that I'm aging backwards, like, they're like, are you aging backwards? Because you look younger now than you did 10 years ago. What is going on? I consider that a compliment. What that means is that maybe 10 years ago, and this is probably the case, like I know it is, I was going through a lot. Like I was in a place, as I say, Sharita will say, listen, I'll be talking about I'm in the sunken place. Girl, I got to get out of the sunken place. Let me put my eyebrows on, girl, because I'm in the sunken place. Draw an eyebrow. Okay, girl, let's go, okay? But you know, you're going through a lot. And so that shows up on you, whether you mean for it to or not, it can show up on you. So what I've discovered is, as I've taken more control, as I've become more comfortable with being uncomfortable and creating the me that I want to be. I know how I want to show up. Baby, I'm going to show up bad. I'm going to show up in some bad shoes. You're going to be looking at my feet talking about, where'd you get those shoes? Oh my God, I love those shoes. Literally. And so when I go out, I'm cognizant that I'm creating the image that people see and how they're going to respond to me. So for example, I had to take my daughter to the hospital. They're like, what is taking you so long? Hold up. Let me put my clothes on. And they were like, why are you doing all that? You just going to the hospital. And I didn't do anything real fancy. Put on some stonewashed jeans, a little black top, but I put on some blue jean boots with red laces that came up to the mid of my thigh, midway of my calf. Y'all listen, the shoes are bad. They're bad. Got pearls around them. I was in the hospital stepping. What happened? The nurses were like, oh my God, I love your shoes. In fact, we were getting ready to go. They had to come back in the room to see my shoes. So what did I do, Sharita? So glad you guys came in. Thank you for taking such good care of my daughter. I just want to bless you guys. Here's some packets.
Come on.
I just want to bless you. You all give so much to everybody else. I wanted to bless you. I wanted to give you some samples of my Kai Detox tea. I don't know if you're interested in a good detox, but I just know sometimes it'll help you. And my energy capsule, that Vita Plus that we were talking about, I'm going to give you some of these. And this Kai Detox tea, turn it around, right? I'm going to give you this because I know that you need a lot of energy. Y'all listen. I wouldn't have been able to do it if they hadn't come back in there. If I hadn't had the shoes on, they wouldn't have come back in there. It wouldn't have given me the opportunity. I'm always doing business. We're always doing business. And when we tell ourselves we're not, we're lying. We're always selling ourselves because people don't buy what we do. They buy who we are.
That's right.
And so if you show up, Sharita, and you looking all broke down, I'm not partnering with you.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that goes hand in hand with one of our CEO's favorite quotes. You can't look like a nightmare selling a dream.
Right.
That part. We are intentional. I'm intentional When I go out and I may put on a particular pair of lipstick, right? Or whatever, I need you to see me, right?
Right.
Not to see me just because I want to be seen, right?
Right.
But I want you to see me with intentionality, right?
Yes.
Just like when I walk and I'll smile, right? I want to be able to get your attention. You
Girl,
feel
you
warm
better show those teeth, girl.
with the
Show
gap and
them, boo.
all.
Come on, Team Gap. You know we're Team Gap, okay?
Yes,
All day.
honey. Yes, we're all
Okay?
special. Trying to tell you.
Yes.
But we're intentional. Everything we were talking about being broke. Okay, well, let's talk about being rich for a moment, right? Or being
Yeah.
successful.
Come
You
on.
have to be intentional. It doesn't
Yeah.
come out of nowhere, it just happens, right? You have
Right.
to be intentional about everything. So we're intentional about when we speak, when we're going out, when we're, wearing a certain type of whatever, how our
Right.
hair or changing it up. I'm intentional about just about every single thing that I do because we're always playing chess. We know where we want this to move around. So
What
don't
we
think
play,
for a
Teresa?
moment playing
What we
chess,
play?
baby. We playing chess.
Y'all on the checkerboard, we're on the chessboard.
Come
That's
on,
why you
somebody.
can't touch us.
That part. So I
We
know
play
how this game is
chess.
gonna go.
Come on.
The queen has arrived. Okay. That part.
And listen, this is the thing about the queen. The king
Come
holds the
on.
supreme position, but the queen can move everywhere in any
Come on.
direction, anytime. Bam. See, it's great to have a king. You need a king in position, right? But the queen can protect the king because the
Come
queen
on.
can move in ways the king can't.
That
Now,
part.
I'm going to slide for just a second into relationships,
Come
okay?
on.
So, men, you want a woman in your life who
Each.
can move the way that she needs to move to make sure you're covered, you're protected, and that you're able to do what you need to do. And women, you need a man in your life who can be a king and appreciate and honor that which you do.
Come on. That part.
Okay,
That
that
part.
right
Listen,
there.
you go to relationships, what I do in my sleep, honey.
Come
Listen.
on now. Come on.
But it's the truth, and it all plays in
Yeah.
together, because the truth is being complacent and being comfortable. There are a lot of people that are in those spaces, and that's why there's certain relationships that they have and or the lack
Mm-hmm.
thereof, right?
Right.
And so you want to be able to know, like, what do you deserve, what do you desire, how does it work into where you're going. There are a lot of
Yes.
people right now that are in certain relationships and they got in a relationship where they want a different place mentally, so they may have been broken when they got into the relationship. And so now they've evolved, they've gone back to who they truly are. Now they're wearing their crown, right? But they're still stuck with the person that was where you were when you were broken, right? And so
With
this is
broke
why it's very
ass.
imperative. So dumb. Listen, that's
Now
why.
you want Boaz. Now you want Boaz, but you got
Listen, exactly. See, they
okay.
messed up. That's why listen, y'all, I'm intentional. I don't care, but why are you so single? I know why I'm single. I
Why
know
you
why
single,
I'm single.
Sharita?
I'm single because I am a queen fit for a king. And not
You
just
waiting for the
any
king to
king.
show up?
Listen, absolutely.
Come on,
Absolutely.
girl.
And he's a certain type of king because I've met kings before, right? But it's a
Mm-hmm.
certain king that aligns with me and I align with him, right? And so
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
going to do myself a disservice by being with someone just for the sake of being with someone. Like, who does that? Not
A lot
Sharita.
of people.
They do.
A lot of people. A lot of people do that. A
Of
lot.
course. Of
A
course.
whole lot. Way
Uh-huh.
too many.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you all, listen, stop selling yourself short. And whether we're talking about romantic relationships, business
Business.
relationships,
Yeah.
friendships, listen, y'all, when you know who you are, baby, let me tell y'all something.
Come
The
on.
devil messed up. Okay, let me tell y'all how the devil messed up. He let Dr. V really live and get to the place where I am right now today. Because I will look you in your eye and say what I need to say unapologetically. Like,
Facts.
just like it ain't nothing. And when I talk to my friend, Sharita be like, you said that to them? I'm like, yeah, I said it. She's like, no, for real. Like, you said that. Yes. Like, I wasn't supposed to say that. She was like, yo, son, you're a beast. I'm like, what? But let me tell you what's happened in my life. It's not to be mean to anyone. That's not the intention, because I don't go around just trying to be mean to anyone. But let me tell you what you're not going to do, and you're in my life. You're not going to downplay my value. You're not. I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. You should have caught me when I was in that place where I was allowing my situation and my circumstances to dictate how I viewed myself. That's not this time. That's not now. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what the size of my house or the type of my car or like what my finances look like right now in this moment. Although they don't look bad. That's not going to define me. Right? Fact. Even though they don't look bad, they don't look the way they're going to look.
Come on.
None of that is defining me. Like I'm defined by who the Creator made me to be. And you are too, if you will walk in that. See, the reason Sharita and I get along so well is we both are like, I'm not dealing with some stuff. It's some stuff I'm not dealing with in this point in my life. I'm not miss me with it. Miss it. They swear that I'm from New York because I got that whole like,
I'm rubbing off on you. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you.
That's what my husband said to me. We were watching Queen of the South. He said, "Are you sure you weren't Camilla or Teresa in a previous life? Because you got this a little down pat." Why do I have it down pat? I have it down pat because, listen, I just made a decision that there's a life that I deserve and I'm going for it full steam ahead. And either you can come with me and help me get this life and join in and we can do it all together, or y'all about to be left. And I personally don't care who you are. I can love you and keep it pushing, okay? Not because I don't love you, but because I love me and the assignment that God has given me way too much to stop while you try to figure out what you gonna do. No. Catch up after you figure it out. I'm going ahead. Now listen, I'm gonna tell this story, and Sharita can vouch for this story. Okay, we were at an event, right? We were going to a mansion party. I can't make this up, y'all. I promise you I can't make it up. We were going to a mansion party, right? And it was a group of us that were going. We're at the shuttle. They have room for one more person. And I'm in the front. And what did Dr. V do, Sharita?
This chick left us, y'all. She got on the shuttle on us. I was like, hell.
Did she just leave us? Listen, this is what I told them when they got there.
This is her response.
I said, listen, I came ahead to pave the way.
I
wanted to make sure everything was good. Listen, I'm here. I know, okay, y'all, this is where the food is. And what I do when y'all got there, I took you to the food. Here's the food. Here's this. Let's get our table. And they were like, Dr. V, I can't believe you left us. And I said this. I said these words. I said, listen, in life, you got to be willing to leave people. In life, you have to be willing to leave people. And unfortunately, we've been taught don't leave anybody. We can't get there so that we can pave the way, already have everything mapped out and say, okay, y'all, honey, let's get this food and let's go on. And we had a great time, but they would look at me with a side eye. I don't care.
She sure didn't care. She did not care at all.
Y'all will be all right. Come on. Listen, come on. I went and met them down the hill. Hey, y'all, I'm glad y'all made it. Let's go. Like, that's helpful, right?
We out here waiting in the cold. She out there like living her best life in the dang on shuttle. I'm like in the Sprinter. I said, this chick.
But I tell you, they'll never forget that, right? They'll never forget that because, listen, I believe in modeling some things for people. And we often don't have people to model that. You know, hey, listen, sometimes you got to go ahead by yourself and then pave the way for other people. I'm used to having to do that. But see, you know, if I were another person, I would have said, well, no, y'all go. No, it's cold. And I'm getting ready to get on the shuttle. I'm going to go. I'm going to prepare the way. I'm going to be John the Baptist. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Sharita. Pave the way. Let's go. So you guys, don't allow being comfortable to keep you broke, stagnant, and complacent because you don't have to. So Sharita, if you were to say anything to the people, what would you say to them about avoiding that state?
Get out. Oh, Lord
Get out of
Jesus,
the sunken place.
get out of that sunken place. Where's my phone at? Where's the flash? Get out, get out. But no, but no, seriously, know that there's more, right?
Yeah, there is.
And not only is there more, but there's more for you.
Bam.
And when we don't individualize that, it seems so far fetched, and we
Yes,
start telling ourselves things like, "Oh, that's for them," "Oh, that's because she's Dr.
that's
V and
right.
she has a doctorate degree," and that's Sharita because she's a best-selling author and she
A
works for Les
two-time
Brown.
best-selling
Well,
author.
thank you for
Two-time
go ahead,
best-selling
yeah,
author. Come on.
yeah, you
Protege of the
know,
legendary Les Brown.
yeah, with
Went
you.
from homeless disabled veteran,
Oh,
right?
not veteran, bro.
Listen, I thought I threw a little better there. Homeless disabled mother. Is that what it is? Girl, is that what it is? Let me tell you this. She was homeless and she was disabled. She got hit by a semi. What do y'all think y'all can't do? This lady that's sitting in front of you got hit by a semi truck.
18-wheeler.
While she was pregnant.
Come on. That part.
And she's sitting before you successful.
Come
and your
on.
excuse is what? What?
That part.
What?
And so
okay, go ahead,
until I had to individualize that there was more for me, it wasn't real.
Yeah.
And so for you that are watching, it doesn't matter where you currently are or where you've come from, but there literally is more for you. And the moment that you identify with the more and that it's possible and you keep speaking that, seeing it,
yes.
and surrounding yourself with people and books and audios and things that would help you with changing the way you think, you can have it. And I tell people constantly, the person that I am today is absolutely nothing like the person that I used to be. People that know me from back in the day, family members, my old high school friends, they're like, Sharita, I can't believe this is you. I was that timid, shy girl that had low self-esteem, that it was just like, I did not like who I was nor my life. And if I had gone on with the path of where I was, I would not be the person I am today. But I knew I needed to become somebody different to be able to live out my life's purpose. And so with that, I know there's more. I know there's more than where I currently am. There's more people that I have to impact. There's more money to be made. There are better relationships that I need to be a part of. And so because I know there's more and there's more for me, every single day I'm intentional about achieving that more. So for those of you that are watching, because there's more for you, do something different. Because there's more for you, surround yourself with other people that will help you become better and grow. Because there's more, don't get complacent where you are, and know that where you are can change. You don't have to know how it's going to change. You just need to know that it will. When I was homeless and I know what I was doing and I had nowhere to go and I was pregnant and I was like, how is it going to change? I feel like nothing was working for me. I didn't know how. But what I did know was it has to. There's no way God put me on this earth to be stuck here, homeless, disabled, nowhere to go, no money, no opportunity. God is too big to be, and too intentional, too purposeful to let me be born to just sit here and do like this. Like, it made no sense.
That's real.
And so that's what you have to tell yourself. Surely there's more for me. I don't care if you're 13, 30, or 70 years old. There is more for you. And go after the more. And don't stop until you get it.
Yes.
Don't stop till you get enough.
Come on. With the don't stop. Hey, don't stop till you get enough. Doom, 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 doom. Okay. Listen, we'll have a whole party, right?
But that's Sharita,
you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And this is what I'm gonna say to you. Don't be afraid to do it alone. Don't be afraid to do it alone, and don't be afraid to do it scared. Don't be afraid to do it not knowing. Just do it. When I look at it, in my family, I was the first one in my family to go to college on my mom's side and my dad's side. Remember, I grew up in a 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. The first one to go to college. Nobody had gone. Nobody could tell me what to do. I didn't have anyone to talk to me about sororities. I didn't have anyone to tell me how to go through it. Like, I was the one who went first. So do you see what I'm talking about? See, I have never been afraid to go by myself. Like, I'm the only Black, or I'm the only one from my area, or I'm the only this. Like, I just went. And some would say that I'm reckless, right? But I would say that I'm courageous. I'm not fearless. I'm not fearless, because I do it even when I'm scared, right?
Yep.
But I just do it
Yep.
because I know there's more. And that's the thing. I read books. And so I knew that there was a world outside of the little small town that I grew up in. I knew that there were people who were going on great exploits. And I always wanted to go on great exploits. I always loved the mystery novels. I always loved like the Chronicles of Narnia, where there was a champion in there and, you know, you were going on adventures. And I believed that I was due for adventures, right? Adventures were my portion, that I was designed to slay dragons and things like that. And so the dragons that I desire to slay are poverty, miseducation, you know, being lackadaisical and comfortable, and to really show people that the true success in life is breaking out of the mindset that has kept you in bondage. Harriet Tubman said it like this. When asked, how did she feel about freeing about 300 slaves? And she said these words: I would have freed more if they'd known they were slaves. And I came to tell you that some of you are slaves. And you may not have looked at it like that, but you are. You're a slave to your job. You're a slave to your routine. You're a slave to this complacency. You're a slave to religion. You're a slave to all of these things that have you in bondage. But the God that I serve came that we might have life and life more abundantly. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. So if you're in bondage, you're not in the Spirit of the Lord. The Spirit of the Lord ain't with you. Hear me? Because when He's there, there's liberty. And if anyone tries to take your liberty, that is not of God. It is not of God, right? And so today, I challenge you, triple, double dog dare you to take the lid off of your capability, to dream dreams like you've never dreamt before in your life, to go back to when you were a child and you believed anything was possible, to be able to take a risk, leap, jump, and know that the God who created you will catch you in the same way that when they were on the ship and Jesus was out on the water, walking on the water, and He said, Peter, come to me.
Yeah.
Was it Peter? It was Peter, wasn't it, Sharita?
It was Peter. It was Peter.
And Peter stepped out on the water. And as long as he kept his eyes on the Messiah, he was able to walk on the water. But the moment he got caught up in his circumstances, the wind blowing, the waves raging, he began to sink. And even in that, Jesus reached out his hand and took his hand and pulled him up. You all, Sharita and I are reaching out our hand and we're pulling you up from the sunken place that you've allowed yourself to go to. You don't have to stay there. You can change it. And it just requires you making a decision. Y'all may say, well, what decision is that? A decision for you. Choose you. And if you're not sure where to go from there, reach out to us. If you're on Sharita's page, reach out to her. If you're on my page, reach out to me. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is who we are. We help people come out of the sunken place. And we celebrate them and we applaud them. And when they begin to sink because they're listening to the words of the people around them, we reach out our hand and we pull them up. And you may not always understand our method and it may seem offensive to you, but everything we do is deliberate and strategic because we've learned the psychology of people. And the reality is people don't move just to a bunch of positivity all the time. Sometimes you got to give people the cold, hard facts.
Facts.
And listen, this is the cold, hard fact. Wherever you find yourself, you created that place. You did. Your choices and your actions. And if you can create that place, the beauty is you can create another one. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Sharita, tell them how they can follow you, get in touch with you, and be a part of Sharita Leon, 2 times best-selling author, protege of the legendary Les Brown. Come through, girl.
Thank you, Dr. V, for allowing me to be on your gracious stage this evening and for being a part of my amazing life and movement. But you can all find me on Sharita Leon on Facebook, Coach Sharita on my page as well, and on Instagram, all that good stuff.
Yes. And you guys, those of you that follow me know I am your girl, Dr. V, Dr. Veronica Duncan Walters. And you can find me at Dr. V Walters on Instagram, here on Facebook at Dr. Veronica Walters. And you can follow me at Dr. V Live on my Facebook page. Listen, connect. Let's change the world together. One person, one move, one decision at a time. I love you guys to life and life more abundant. Be blessed. Mwah.